So my costume is the character of Sophia Fiore from the book A Secret of Birds and Bone by Kieran Millward Hargrave. I actually had the privilege of speaking to the author at the start of the production kind of process, so that was a really exciting thing to be able to do. But yes, Sophia is a 12-year-old girl. It's loosely set in 19th century Italy, so it's a kind of reflection of a children's costume, but reflecting also her character in the story. So lots of modern theatre practices are becoming more of an industry standard now. So I was really interested in including them in my work. Primarily for this one, I made a puppet alongside my costume. And for that, I taught myself 3D modelling and worked with 3D printers at the university and 3D printed elements of the puppet head.
My costume is Spartan armour, based off of the Mozart opera Apollo and Hyacinthus. It follows the god Apollo and his love triangle with Spartan prince Hyacinthus. I've used the techniques I've learned at NTU kind of in this project, using different medias, mixed medias, instead of just sewing, using fabric manipulation, kind of going into plaster, armour work, painting. So pushing myself for this project to use those skills that I have learnt here that I might not be able to use as frequently in industry.
So the costume I chose for my final project is a snake demon. He's called Zuzi Lang, and he is from a book called Scam Villain's Self-Saving System. It's a Chinese novel, originally published online, and it has like a lot of elements of fantasy. There's like a lot you could do with the characters. You can go like really big on them and put a lot of little different details, because the costumes are not really explained a lot in the books. So, you know, I just had a lot of freedom with them.
My costume is the god Horus for ancient Egypt, and it's based on the Papyrus of Ani, which is a funerary text that goes through the Book of the Dead.
I think I motivate myself towards the end of the design process by thinking about the construction, kind of getting ready to go into it, starting to do some samples, getting myself like ready for it. I use quite a lot of textures and materials in my designs anyway, so it's continuing them going, get myself excited for that construction, other than just coming to an end and stopping, going into something completely fresh and like know what I'm doing.
There's lots of story that you can incorporate into a design. For Sophia, I really focused on the bird element of the book. It's a very common theme. So throughout the entire costume, there's hidden elements that you can find, such as little birds in her collar and in the embroidery, which, just reflect kind of the characters in the story having a pet bird. You know, it would be something that their mother would probably put onto into their clothing. And a little details like that is something I really enjoy playing around with.
The myth Apollo and Hyacinthus originally is based in homosexual ties, where the god Apollo falls in love with the Spartan prince, which then attracts the attention of Zephyrus, the god of the west wind. The whole story is heavily rooted in this, like that is the basis of it. But when Mozart wrote the opera in 1776, he rewrote it as heterosexual, erasing all of the homosexual ties that led to it. So I really wanted to take this opera, this opportunity to retell the story how it should be told.
And I used the print room in Bonington to print all of my fabrics. I developed my screens myself, and then I printed everything, sewed it together, and then for one of the layers of the costume, I actually did what we call smocking, which is like creating texture on the fabric. So after I did that, I beaded the whole thing. So there's a lot of texture going on in the costume and a lot of different colors.
Seeing someone wear something that I've made is always one of the most exciting parts of the process, if I'm honest, because it brings things to life. You know, often I find that a character, once they put on their costume, that's when you really see it kind of spark. So seeing other people wear them, it's a very rewarding kind of time, really, because you see all of your hard work going into it, and all of a sudden it's there, and you've done it, and it is a really special moment.